In 2022 presidential election, William Ruto used sympathy on Kenyans, and he did convince some Kenyans into voting for him. He whipped their emotions. Looking at Rigathi Gachagua, Rigathi is now using the same strategy William Ruto used. And it's very unfortunate that some Kenyans are falling for Rigathi Gachagua's tricks. Ruto used the same tricks on Kenyans. Kenyans fell for the tricks, and they are still falling for the same tricks being deployed by Rigathi Gachagua. Who bewitched Kenyans? When will Kenyans learn? Rigathi is a good student of William Samoei Ruto. He has been copying exactly what William Ruto did on Uhuru Kenyatta. I've seen those photos trending. That's Rigathi Gachagua and his wife Dorcas. Dorcas, from those photos, you are seeing she's weeping. Rigathi is also very, very emotional, almost weeping, shedding tears. And Kenyans are sympathizing with Rigathi and Dorcas. I want us to dig deep into this story for Kenyans to understand the high-octane politics being played here and why I believe Rigathi Gachagua is getting it completely wrong. Seeking sympathy 3 years to an election in Kenya is wastage of time. One day in Kenyan politics is a long period of time. Things do change. 2027 is still very far away. Rigathi weeping sympathy now will not save him. Kenyans will just forget about him in the coming weeks. William Ruto was very smart. He used sympathy in 2022 and towards the elections. Rigathi wants to use sympathy almost 3 years to the election. I want us to understand what Rigathi should do. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Let's proceed. Let me start by saying this. Rigathi Gachagua has not yet seen anything. In fact, terrible things are still coming. He has not yet seen anything. He has just been impeached. Terrible things are still coming ahead. Weeping or sympathy seeking might not save him. Before William Ruto and Rigathi came to power, Rigathi had several corruption cases. These cases were dropped immediately. They took over power. The cases can easily be revived. Rigathi's bank accounts can easily be frozen. Rigathi himself can be arrested and jailed. So several things are still coming ahead. All his companies can be killed. Rigathi can easily be destroyed completely, both politically and economically. So he has not yet seen anything. Rigathi's only option is to play it smart. Let him learn some lessons from Raila Odinga. Raila attacks only when he's sure, when it's necessary. But when Raila Odinga knows he can't win a war, he normally retreats. That's what has kept Raila Odinga this strong politically for all these years. He knows when to attack and when to retreat to fight another day. Rigathi should borrow that wisdom from Raila Odinga. Let him sit down with Raila Odinga and let Raila Odinga explain to him how he coped after unsuccessfully gunning for the presidency 5 times. How was Raila Odinga able to cope? Because not many of us can endure that. Because in some of those elections, Raila knew he was winning, and Kenyans were sure he was winning. At the last minute, results are upside down. A normal human being will easily be disturbed. Some will go into depression. Some can even commit suicide. If only impeachment alone, Rigathi is becoming emotional. Let him talk to Raila Odinga. Let him understand how Raila overcome all those emotionally. Maybe he can learn a lesson from Raila Odinga. And he'll understand how to live to fight another day. Mama Dorcas Rigathi should sit down with Ida Odinga. Let Ida Odinga tell Mama Dorcas how she coped for over 8 years when Raila Odinga was detained without trial. Mama Ida coped for over 8 years with Raila Odinga detained without trial. How did Ida Odinga cope up with that? Dorcas should get some lessons. How did Mama Ida Odinga cope when she was sacked as a high school principal just because she was Raila Odinga's wife? Being sacked as a high school principal just because she was Raila Odinga's wife. How did Ida Odinga cope? Dorcas Rigathi should get some lessons from Mama Ida Odinga. How she was able to cope with all that. If you look at what is currently happening, Rigathi should be alive to the fact that William Ruto has clearly outsmarted him. Ruto has outsmarted him on the ground, in the National Assembly, and in the Senate. Rigathi's own member of parliament, Madira MP, voted to impeach Rigathi Gachagua. As I talk, the ground is divided. And I've always explained here that it's just a matter of time. The mountain will rally around the new deputy president, provided that deputy president comes from the mountain. Rigathi will easily be forgotten. In fact, now that Rigathi has been impeached, he can't contest for any seat. He can't hold any public office. He's got several corruption cases. This is not the time for Rigathi to attack. This is the time for Rigathi to strategize. We've been told that if you can't beat them, join them and you will beat them. Rigathi should reach out to William Ruto for a pardon against prosecution and all that. And I'm saying because Rigathi's track record is not very clean. He can use maybe that strategy. Or if he sees that strategy might not work for him, then he can clearly rebel against William Ruto. But that rebellion, he should understand the consequences. Yes, he should not try to be in between, trying to force himself to be William Ruto's deputy. No. Let Ruto run his government. Let him go the other side and let him be a full-time rebel. Let William Ruto do his worst. I'm seeing those two options. He should reach out to Ruto for a pardon against prosecution and all that. Or if he feels he can't do that, let him come out of Ruto's government and let him now rebel. Let William Ruto do his worst. If he survives, so be it. If he fails to survive, that's how politics is. It's a dirty game. But he should not assume that he can force himself to be William Ruto's deputy. He'll be putting his life in danger. And at the end of the day, it can turn ugly and uglier. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give the video a like. Any person watching us outside Kenya, drop a comment, let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. If possible, subscribe, give the video a like. Rigathi Gachagua should know when to seek sympathy. 3 years to an election is not the right time to seek sympathy. One day in Kenyan politics is a long period of time. Kenyans do forget things very, very easily. Rigathi has to re-strategize. He has got only two options. Either to reach out to Ruto for a possible deal, not for him to remain the deputy president, but for William Ruto not to go after him. The corruption cases and all that. That is first option. The second option is for him to come out of Ruto's government. Let him now be an open rebel. Let Ruto do his worst. If Rigathi survives, so be it. If he fails to survive, that's the nature of politics. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya.